Well, this was a weird one. The Toronto Raptors lose by 10 points in a decently competitive game where they led by 16 midway through the second quarter, but we're still down 7 points at halftime. And it's a game where Jakob Poeltl plays in 27 minutes coming off of the bench. Let's break down what happened in tonight's post-game show. Out for this. As a reminder, as we always do before these post-game shows, if you like the content, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe because we do content like it for pretty much every Raptors game. This one was a little bit strange. It was strange even before the game began. Well before the game began. Life began without Scottie Barnes today for the Raptors. Not too much different. There's been a lot of games this season without Scottie Barnes, but for a period of time, Scottie Barnes is going to be away with his right ankle, right foot injury, whatever it is. And the decision today for the starting lineup, the expectation from my part was that Davion Mitchell would again be back in the starting five. But I guess they like the rotation. They like Davion Mitchell's role with the second unit. Mitchell once again came off the bench for the Raptors today, and it was Jonathan Mobo who got his second start of the season. But the weirdness wasn't there. About 5 minutes before the game started, 5 minutes before opening tip, Raptors reveal. Oh, Jesus Christ. Where did that come from? I was in rhythm there. Raptors reveal that Jakob Poeltl was downgraded to doubtful for the game with back spasms. Now, I'm no doctor, but if you're downgraded to doubtful less than 5 minutes before the game starts, you're probably not playing. My assumption was Jakob Poeltl was out and was not going to play. But again, he was downgraded to doubtful. 2 minutes into hang on. Bruno Fernando gets the start. Raptors start Fernando, Mobo, Barrett, Abaji, Dick. Not a formidable starting five. 2 minutes in, guess who checks in the game? Jakob Poeltl. So there were some conversations pregame. Was it a tank move? Was it a trade move? People in the chat were saying on the live stream, like they must be trading Poeltl. That's why they're keeping him out. Wasn't going to rule that out, but I definitely disagreed. My thoughts were definitely on the tank front. Like, oh, here's an opportunity to rest a guy, help get a loss in that loss column, go towards the tank. But all that was taken away 2 minutes in when he checked in. And all of that reminded us they're still trying to win. They are here to win. They are not tanking. They are not positively not tanking. If they wanted to tank, they had every excuse not to play Poeltl today. If they wanted to trade Poeltl, they had every excuse not to play him today. Maybe they'll tank down the line. Maybe they're tanking by accident, but every chance was there not to play Poeltl, and he played like decently well, 7 of 12 with 16 points. Like a minute after subbing in, he threw down a dunk, but kind of got bullied in the Bam Adebayo matchup. Still gets 16 points even despite it. Bam Adebayo goes a bit dummy, 21 points, 16 rebounds, but it was a decently competitive game that was kind of sloppy at times, but I don't mind a 10-point loss to Miami. But statistically, there were some tough nights. It's kind of tough to call it a tough night when RJ Barrett gets the second triple-double of his NBA career. 13 points for Barrett, 10 assists, 11 rebounds, but he goes 5 of 18. Somebody called it a tour date. Yeah, bit of a tour date right there. Hit a late three to make it look a little bit better, but hey, triple-doubles are always cool, aren't they? Olynyk had a tough night. He was 0 of 6 today. Brutal. But other than that, look, Grady Dick goes 8 of 19, 22 points. I like that. Abaji goes 6 of 8, 13 points. I like that. Mobo looked good on both ends of the floor, had 10 rebounds. I like that as well. Off the bench, we talked about Poeltl stats. Jamison Battle goes 2 of 2 from 3. Davion Mitchell, one of his more positive games on offense today with 12 points, 4 of 6 shooting. Jamal Shead hit a 3. Jacoby Walter, again, looked pretty good here with 9 points. Decent game overall for the Raptors. It's just, you walk into a team that is better than you. Hero gets 23, has a great game. Bam Adebayo had a great game, as I said. Jovic went nuclear in the second quarter, which we'll touch on in a second here. Tough game overall for the Raptors, but it's even more, what will be disappointing is the fact that early, like they came out the gates really well. They had a 16-point lead. They had a 16-point lead midway through the second quarter, and then Miami just turned up a notch. Started knocking down threes. I think Jovic hit like 3 in a row. Oh, no, Jovic hit 2 in a row at the end of the third. Finishes a plus 25. Hero started knocking down shots, and their defense just dialed in at the end of the second quarter. They go on a 33-10 run to close out the second quarter, take that 58-51 lead into halftime, and they don't really look back. They pile it on a bit in the third. Raptors make it look a little bit nicer in the fourth quarter, losing by 10 points. But, you know, it's a not great Raptors team that shot pretty well, all things considered. 45% from the field, 34% from three. Excuse me. Possession battle was decently even. They have 2 more offensive rebounds, but 5 more turnovers. They just shot better. They had a hot stretch from 3 in the second, which gave them the lead, and they are good enough the rest of the way, defensively and offensively, consistent enough to not relinquish that advantage. So in the end, just a weird one for the Raptors with Mobo starting and then Fernando starting and then Pirtle coming in and Fernando not going back in the game. RJ Barrett not really playing well, but getting a triple-double. I mean, that's just the nature of the game like this for Barrett. Look, not a lot of help for Barrett out there, like spacing-wise, handling-wise. RJ Barrett was the starting point guard today. Like I said pre-game, Mitchell will probably start at point guard, but it will be mostly Barrett playing as the point guard. You know, scratch that. Barrett literally started as point guard. Miami, basically any team that has good rim protection and can cut off drives, Barrett's not going to have a good game. Look at the OKC game. Look at this game here. If you cut off drives and you protect the rim well, Barrett's going to struggle, especially when there's not a lot of help around him. So shooting nights like maybe shouldn't be 5 of 18 bad, but some tough nights are going to be there for Barrett against teams like this. It's generally easy to predict what sort of game Barrett is going to have, especially away from home where his numbers have been a lot worse and only get worse with a game like today. So upcoming for the Raptors. We've had a tough run of games here, but man, it gets easy. 2 games next. You got the 13-14. You have 3 nights off. You get Brooklyn at home. Sorry, Chicago at home. They suck. So do we, but they suck. Then you have Brooklyn at home on the 19th. They're not very good either. Some winning opportunities on the horizon, absolutely, for this Toronto Raptors team. Are they good enough to go and take them? We'll see. I said this was a defining stretch of the season, the OKC, Dallas, New York stretch where they lost all 3, 2 of which rather comfortably. That kind of showcased they're not ready to compete. But like, how bad are they going to be? These 2 games will serve as a either a reminder or a rude awakening for some. They lose both, yeah, it's cooked. They win both, who knows? We'll see what should happen. But the Raptors, today, not great. Well, I mean, it was fine. Not great from Barrett. It was fine. They lost. I feel nothing. What do you want me to say? That's where we're at. Tanking is probably good for the team. I can look at the game now and say, yeah, great. We lost. Helped with a tank. But I can't watch the game wanting them to lose. And I can never do that. But that is the end of today's post-game show. What'd you make of this Raptors game? Let us know. Drop a like if you enjoyed. Subscribe. We do content like this for every Raptors game. And check out member content Friday night on Amateur Sports. We'll see you again next time.